I woke up on my 19th birthday unable to make a sound, not a whisper, not a squeak, just air rushing past silent vocal cords. The doctors called it psychogenic aphonia, a fancy way of saying my mind had decided my voice wasn't worth keeping. They told me it might never come back, and then my mother cried in the hospital hallway. My best friend, Jake, kept saying, "You'll be fine," like he could will it true. But I knew the truth. I was the girl who talked too much, who filled every silence with jokes or rants or nervous chatter. Now, I was mute in a world that never stopped talking, and then the first week was the hardest. I'd open my mouth to order coffee, to laugh at a meme, to scream when my little brother hid my phone. Nothing. Just this hollow, suffocating silence. Jake tried to help, scribbling notes for me to hold up, but it wasn't the same. People either talked over me or treated me like I was fragile, like my silence made me invisible. And then, one afternoon, I found my old sketchbook. I doodled in it since middle school. Cartoon faces, random quotes, half-finished comics. I flipped to a blank page and started drawing. A stick figure version of me, mouth taped shut, surrounded by speech bubbles full of scribbles. Underneath, I wrote, "How do you talk when no one listens?" And he posted it online on a whim. No captions, no explanation, just the drawing. And then by morning, it had 500 likes. People were commenting, "This is me, and I feel this every day." A girl named Priya messaged me, "You're the first person who's ever made me feel seen." I stared at the screen, my fingers trembling. Maybe my voice wasn't gone. Maybe it had just changed. And he kept drawing. Comics about anxiety, about feeling small, about the pressure to be perfect. Each one resonated with people in a way my words never had. Teachers who ignored me in class were suddenly sharing my work. Strangers were tagging their friends, saying, "This is you, right?" I even got an email from a small indie publisher asking if I'd ever considered a book. But not everyone was happy for me. Jake stopped texting as much. Then, one day, he showed up at my door, hands shoved in his pockets. "You're not even trying to get better," he said. "It's like you're happy being like this." I wanted to scream. Instead, I grabbed a notebook and wrote, "I am trying, just not the way you want me to." And then he left without another word. And then that night, I sat on my bed, staring at the blank page in front of me. The doctors had said my voice might never return. But what if it wasn't about the sound? What if it was about being heard? And he took a deep breath and started drawing. A girl, standing in a crowd, mouth sewn shut, but her hands were raised, holding up a sign that read, "I'm still here." Underneath, I wrote, "My voice was never just in my throat." And he posted it at 2 a.m. and by morning, it had 10,000 shares. And a week later, I got a call from a speech therapist. Not the kind who wanted to fix me, but one who worked with artists and performers. "Your voice is still there," she said. "It's just waiting for you to find it in a new way." And then it took months of practice, of relearning how to shape sound, of accepting that my voice might always be softer, raspier, different. But when I finally spoke again, just a single word, "Hi," to my mom, it wasn't the sound that mattered. It was the way her eyes lit up like I'd given her the world. And I still draw every day. My comics are in galleries now, and my book comes out next month. Jake never apologized, but that's okay. I don't need his permission to be heard anymore. And then losing my voice was the worst thing that ever happened to me. But it wasn't the end of my story. It was the beginning of learning that sometimes, you have to lose something to find out what it really means.